What's up, guys? Welcome back to JodabeniTV. Today's another amazing day to get out there, and we're going to be better today than we were yesterday. And for today's video, we're going to be looking at the new MLS Next Pro, their new roster rules. I know the league is brand new, and a lot of people are very curious to find out what is the league's rules, rosters, and there's plenty of other players who are overseas or are in the United States itself or Canada that want to play in the MLS Next Pro, but they're not too sure about it. Is it just for little kids? Can grown-ups play, or is it an actual professional league? So we're gonna get some nice details to keep you guys up to date for anybody interested in playing or just being a fan to watch if it's something you want to participate in. So first and foremost, each individual team can have up to 35 players. And in those 35 players, 24 of them have to be professionally signed rostered players. And then there's 11 players that can be a part of the team that are not part of the pro team, but are actually youth players. Now for these youth players, they can't just be anybody. So to be considered as a youth player for the MLS Next Pro, first of all, you won't be getting paid, and you have to be under the age of 21 prior to the beginning of the season. So if the season starts and you turn 21 later, it doesn't matter. But before, you have to be under 21. Now there's another catch to it. You're not considered a youth player if you have competed in any collegiate athletics with soccer. So if you competed in any university or any college, you're no longer considered a youth player, and you cannot be on the MLS Next Pro team as a youth player. You actually have to sign a professional contract with any of those teams. And with each game day, there can only be a maximum of 5 amateur players, which are these academy players that have never played collegiate before. Only 5 can be, maximum of 5 of them can be on the field at a time. And I understand they put this rule because some teams may try to cut their budgets by having majority of academy players playing against all of these other teams while not putting them on contract. But to keep the level high, it's very good that they're forcing a lot of these teams to have a majority professionally signed players to keep the level on par, instead of some teams having 10 players that are all academy. And it's not very fair for the other team who are trying to play at a higher level or higher intensity. And I think that was a good rule they added into it. And obviously the other rules to stay as an amateur, you obviously can't have ever played professionally. Those are basic common sense rules. So that's pretty much the main thing when it comes to the amateur kids. Now to continue on with the rest of the roster, we're going to be taking a look at the roster flexibility. So whenever I'm saying roster flexibility, we're going to be talking about the budget. How much can players get paid? How much will they get paid? Is it going to be, cheap, expensive? So they said there's no salary cap, so it doesn't matter how much they can play an individual player. So even if they sign you on a professional contract and you're 18 and they want to pay $50,000 a year, they can. But there's another catch. There's currently no minimum payment they can pay you. So you can sign a professional contract with them and they don't have to pay you at all with the contract. So I'm not too sure how this is going to work in the United States, because there is a minimum wage law in the United States. So I don't know how this will bypass it. But we see servers getting paid $2 an hour, and they make money off of their tips here in the States. So I wonder how this is going to incorporate. Will this actually go through all the way, or will teams just end up paying their players minimum wage if they're on a professional contract just to avoid the legal standings of things? And then a lot of players were also asking, is there an age limit when it comes to playing on any MLS Next Pro team? And currently there is no age limit. So if you're 70 and you're as cold as Messi, I hope somebody's gonna give you that chance. But I know there's a lot of players who are chasing professional contracts that were avoiding MLS Next Pro team because they thought it was gonna be another youth academy. So a lot of people weren't even paying attention to the league. But now that people are gonna know, I'm guessing next year or later this year, you're gonna be seeing more players moving from USL Championship or USL League One, or even from outside of the country coming to the United States to play with the MLS Next Pro. And don't forget, the MLS Next Pro is supposed to be a gap bridge to the MLS First Team. So they're gonna be sure to recruit those that they wanna add value to the first team, and quality players that they wanna, have them represent their MLS teams once they get maybe a few seasons in, or maybe one season to get them on par. So if you've been watching this far and you're enjoying the video, be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. And be sure to share it with your friends, somebody who doesn't know anything about the MLS Next Pro roster. And yeah, go ahead, take like 2 seconds, and I really appreciate it. God bless you for supporting me. And let's continue with the video. Now we're gonna be looking at the transfer window dates. When are you able to transfer into an MLS Next Pro team? So the primary transfer window is from February 10th all the way to around May 4th. That's the first window. Now the second window, it says it's from July 7th all the way to August 4th. So in these time periods, if you don't have a contract and you wanna, try shooting your shots to some of these teams, now is the time. Or if you wanna see in the second window, because I understand why there's this window, because players get hurt all the time. And if you're gonna make a new league that's for growth, you don't want a team that's supposed to be for growth not having enough players to train. So with this window, they can bring in players, especially if a player won't be able to participate for the next 8 months. It wouldn't hurt to bring another player. And a lot of these players can come under amateur contract or even free professional contracts where they're not getting paid. Now let's take a look at how the injury rules work with the player if you claim that you are injured. So let's say you play in a match, an MLS Next Pro match, and you get hurt, and you get, they mark you as injured. The moment you are marked injured, and once they submit that documentation, you are prohibited from playing the next 5 MLS Next Pro matches. And I mean, I get this could be a good thing or a bad thing, because I guess since they want it to be a developmental league, maybe they don't want coaches destroying players before they can even have a chance in the first team. Because let's say you're 18, you're one of the best players on the team, you get hurt, your ankle hurts, right? And your doctor says, you might need a rest for like 2 months, but your coach is like, I need you for this final. You need to just suck it up and come play. But if you force him to miss 5 games, that's gonna force the player to recover all of those times. So if the coach already knows you're gonna be gone for 5 games, he might as well let you rest at least half of it, or whatever the doctor prescribes to the player. So if you do get marked as injured and finals are coming up or a tournament, if you're injured and you think you'll be able to play, don't go see the doctor, because once they mark you as injured, my boy, you're done. You're done for the rest of the season. So that's gonna be interesting to see how things play out. And when it comes to game day roster, the teams have to submit it by 8 p.m. prior, 24 hours before, the business day before. At 8 p.m. they have to submit the final game day roster, and it can be changed after that. And that should give you a good gist of the MLS Next Pro roster rules. If you haven't seen my other video about what is the MLS Next Pro, I have a video of it, and then I also have a video of me trying out for Minnesota United. Their MLS Next 2, MLS Next Pro team. I went to the invitational combat, so be sure to check that video out. And yeah, any questions you guys have about the MLS Next Pro, let us know down in the comment section below. Or if you have any information that I missed out, maybe I'm not God, I don't know everything. So let us know down in the comment section below what you think of the new league, and are you excited for it? Because I am. I'm very interested to see what everybody has to bring to the table. And I'll see you guys in the next video. JodabeniTV is out.
Hold up. Oh, babe, you might just make me go crazy. Thinking about you like all day. I'ma need you like always.